Hey people, welcome back to another vlog. I hope you're very well. I have a monster in hand. You have an overlay of my my arm session again, but I'm going to switch up that arm session, as in so you don't just continually watch the same movements all the time. It just so happens I actually went to a different gym and I thought I'm going to go vlog there, which was Definition, which is was a pretty cool gym. It's definitely something. It's one of them like spit and sawdust kind of gyms. So I thought I'd just go and have a little play on the machines. The coach don't actually have any like arm equipment, so it's actually quite nice just to sit on a machine and not have to worry about setup, cables, all that good stuff. So yeah, but I thought I would not talk about gym environment. I thought it'd be very cool to talk about kind of genetics. It's something that we all have, and it's all something that we obviously think about, but it's something that we can't change, right? That kind of brings us on to the main topic of this vlog, right? Because the minute you think I have bad genetics is the minute that you've given up hope to not gain muscle, right? You gotta think, if you're consistently thinking I've got poor genetics, I've got poor genetics, I've got poor genetics, then yeah, your effort just goes downhill. If you think, what the fuck can I do about it? That's the moment when you're like, right, okay, let's maximize my genetic potential rather than just rest on your laurels and go, I've got bad genetics. So I think it's quite important just to kind of go through like what are genetics, right? What kind of determines your like if you have good genetics or not. So things like limb ratios, things like your arm length and kind of all that good stuff. Also things like recovery factors. That's a very important one, because obviously if you have a very poor genetic capacity, right? Then obviously recovery capacity. Then obviously understand that if someone's recovering much faster than you, they can hit the muscle group again, grow more muscle, etc., etc. Also things like muscle fiber type, which is kind of similar to kind of recovery rate. Muscle shape, so like for example like biceps, for example, obviously like my biceps kind of run from here all the way to kind of like here. If you have it like halfway in between, then it might look a little bit different. If you have it all the way to like here, where some people have this like long bicep kind of shape, then it's going to look different from there as well. You also have things like genetic impacted injury rates, right? So if you are predispositioned to have like injuries, then obviously understand that you're going to have a lot of time out of training versus someone who has like decent genetics, and they're going to obviously spend a lot more time actually training whilst you're rehabbing, right? But all of these different things have meaning, right? When you're on a bodybuilding stage, no matter how hard you work, if someone is working as equally as hard as you, but they have better genetics, they're gonna win, right? The fact of the matter is that number one, bodybuilding is it, as much as everyone says you need to win shows and stuff, it is you versus you. As long as you're beating yourself year on year on year, not in the sexual way, because I know you guys like that, but like if you beat yourself kind of like muscle wise, you're leaner, you're bigger, and that's good, that's progress, right? You are continuing to get to your genetic potential. Again, if you go, oh, I've got poor genetics, that's the moment that you look at all of these different things and you overly assess them, and then you just lack intent and effort. You're just going into every session like, oh, like, what's the point? I haven't got like my genetic potential shit. That dude who's a genetic freak, all he has to do is turn up and he's beat you, or she's beat you, right? The simple fact of the matter is we can't change it. We can't change anything to do with that. Now, can we maximize our potential? Yes. You're just gonna have to work your fucking ass off in order to maximize that. Because again, if you have like poor genetics, quote unquote, then to maximize your genetic potential, you're gonna need to do every tiny detail and variable to maximize that, and you just have to hope and pray that the person with great genetics, right, doesn't work very hard. because then you will beat them, and that does happen, surprisingly. Because you've got to think that the dude or the dudette that's very hungry for muscle gain, very hungry for nailing their variables, versus someone who just thinks they're gonna get handed the trophy on a plate, you might win just on the back of like hard work and kind of effort, especially when it comes down to posing. You got to think that genetic freak stands there, absolutely fucking insane muscle insertions and stuff, but really half-asses posing and stuff, and you're there, worked your ass off, had like every single detail like nailed, and you're there with a smile on your face and you're fucking presenting your physique in the best lighting, you practiced and practiced and practiced, you might win, right? Obviously we're not in the game of winning, but you get my point. Genetics is something that people think about far too much, but again, it's something that we just can't change. We can't change the width of our shoulders, the kind of the width of our waist, the shoulder to waist ratio. We can't change muscle fibers, we can't change recovery capacity, we can't change any of that. However, we can maximize. Anyway, that was a vlog. Hope you're well. I'm going to Seville in about 20 minutes, so I thought I'd just whack this vlog up. Peace.